What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I want to talk about two things today. We're going to talk about the debt ceiling and where that's going. And I also want to talk about this $440 increase for Social Security. Now, this is per month, and I talked about this yesterday. So I'm going to continue to follow this story when it comes to this new bill that was reintroduced into the House. And so first, I'm going to give you an update on the debt ceiling, where we are. We're going to take a look at a tweet from Lindsey Graham. He is already said that he wants to slow this process down. And then we're going to take a look and a listen to Representative Larson, and he's going to be talking about his bill to improve Social Security and provide that $440 increase. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification, clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just as a reminder, if you are not getting notifications, let me know in the comments below, and follow me on Twitter at the TEC Show Live. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the debt ceiling. So right now, the text is out. So the lawmakers have it, and you have some lawmakers that are very upset with what they're seeing. And so we knew when the House passed this bill, if they were going to negotiate this, so you're going to have to take some stuff out. And so you do have lawmakers that are very upset about that. Now, I want to show you this tweet, and this is from Lindsey Graham. So Lindsey Graham says here, "I will use all powers available to me in the Senate to have amendment votes to undo this catastrophe for defense. I support raising the debt limit for 90 days to give us a chance to correct this disaster for defense." So he wants to do an extension, basically, is kick the can down the road for 90 more days and then address it then. And actually kicking it down the road for 90 days, that would put it in the area where we would be looking at appropriations. Basically, we would be looking at the budget for 2024. The normal practice is that's when they discuss it in September. And so that's pretty much what he wants to do here. And so he's going to put that amendment on the Senate floor. We'll have to see if it has any support. It could get some support. So what they're trying to do right now, they don't like this current bill. They don't like the bill with raising the debt ceiling. Okay, so what they want to do is they want to, or some lawmakers want to try to slow this down. And you even have some lawmakers that would prefer to go into a default instead of addressing this and raising the debt ceiling and with this bill. So they don't like it that much. So we're going to have to see what happens in the future. But Lindsey Graham is just one lawmaker right now that's very upset. You have a lot of lawmakers that are coming out and saying that they don't want this to pass. And so they're going to try to stall it. Now, I already told you guys this. I gave you this warning. When it comes to the Republicans and the Democrats, you're going to have mostly the middle is who's going to be voting on this, okay? So the moderate Democrats and moderate Republicans, they're the ones that are really going to support this. And the progressives on the left and the Freedom Caucus on the right, they're not going to support this. And they probably wouldn't have supported anything, to be honest with you, for the most part, unless we had that same exact bill that was passed in the House. Then Republicans would have supported that. The majority of Republicans would have supported that. And then you would have had a lot of Democrats that wouldn't have supported it. So this is where we are right now when it comes to the debt ceiling. They are setting up a vote for Wednesday in the House, and then it will go over to the Senate. It's going to take a day to get over to the Senate, and then they'll have to have a couple of days to go over that. So we're still up against the clock. We're still looking at, they're probably going to have to work into the weekend in order to pass this. At least the Senate will. And so we'll just have to see where it goes. But that's all we have when it comes to the debt ceiling as of right now. Okay, so let's talk about the Social Security 2100 Act. Representative Larson reintroduced this bill to the House Ways and Means Committee. There's a subcommittee for Social Security. And so now they're going to have to move forward with it. And so basically it will start in this committee and then they can move out from there. And hopefully we can see this on the House floor. However, in order for this to pass, Speaker McCarthy will have to bring it to the floor. So we'll have to see where that goes. Now, I want to show you Representative Larson. He's going to be talking about Social Security and why we need to reform Social Security now, why we shouldn't be waiting. Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'm honored to join with you in terms of putting forward this legislation. As you've indicated in your remarks, identity theft is vitally important to the American people, as is Social Security itself, the nation's #1 insurance plan, the nation's #1 program with respect to making sure that our elderly stay off of poverty, and our children stay off of poverty. And more veterans, of course, rely on Social Security disability than they do the VA. Yet, important as identity theft is, and it is, and we must take it serious, it's also important that we fund Social Security appropriately. And the Social Security Administration is the most effective and efficient agency we have in the federal government. In insurance parlance, they operate at what's called a 99% loss ratio. I come from an insurance capital. That means that they are able to operate their agency and serve the more than 66 million Americans with under 1% administrative cost. They don't need to be cut. They need to be enhanced, and especially in this area of identity fraud as well. And so I think it's incumbent upon us not only to strengthen the Social Security Administration so they're capable of doing their job, especially after the devastation we've seen from the pandemic and what that's done all across the country and the nation, and specifically with an agency. There is no other federal agency, none, that operates and administers what it has to do with under 1%. That is incredible. We should be striving to make a model of what Social Security does and how effective they've been in terms of getting, because they certainly, as we all would agree, having talked to our constituents, can do better. So, Mr. Chairman, I as well wanted to do this as well as this, at the start. I have a card for everybody. Even have your picture on it there, Mr. Chairman, but I'm going to have them pass it out for both Democrats and Republicans. I intend to give these to everyone in the Congress and what it is, and I hope that we can join together, because I think the most important thing that we can do with regard to identity theft and with regard to Social Security is enhance the program. And Social Security has not been enhanced since Richard Nixon was the President of the United States in 1971. There have been no improvements. So when you get your card, and Mr. Chairman, I took the liberty, I blew up your card and my card, but everyone is going to get these. And on it, it will tell you just how many Social Security recipients you have in your district. And then it will break it down to those children in your district that are getting Social Security, to those veterans that are getting that Social Security. But most importantly, and something we don't talk enough about as well, is how this is an engine for economic recovery. Mr. Chairman, you have 161,374 Social Security recipients in Georgia's 3rd, and monthly, your district get $270 million comes into the district. That's incredible. I have 662 Social Security recipients who get $270 million monthly. We have not improved or enhanced that in 52 years. A gallon of milk cost 72 cents in 1971. Obviously, everybody on this committee knows what's happened in terms of prices. And when you add that to what we're living in now, in terms of what political scientists and historians are calling a polycrisis, when you look at what's happening globally, just in the area of, let's say, the pandemic, the supply chain issues, the ensuing global inflation, and then add to that a global war, that's in essence what the Ukraine war amounts to, and you look at the pressure, who is the group that impacts the most? Seniors. How so? Everybody knows this, but we don't talk about it enough. Of the more than slightly over 1.2 million people who've perished in this pandemic, 855,000 were over the age of 65. Of the people that are impacted the most on inflation, those are people on fixed income. Those are the 66 million people on Social Security. They need our help, and they need it now. Not only in terms of protecting identity theft, but most importantly, the theft of not having their Congress do what it should do. 5 million of our fellow Americans get below poverty level checks, having worked all their lives and paid into a system that only Congress can change.
Okay, so that was Representative Larson there, and you heard him talking about the poverty line. 5 million people who've worked pretty much their whole life and are now collecting Social Security are living below the poverty line. And that's why he is pushing for an increase in their benefits to bring them to 125% of the poverty level. And so that's where we were talking, when I did the video yesterday, I was talking about on or around $440 is what that would amount to. So this is something that we really need to keep an eye on, because right now we're talking about the debt ceiling. We've been talking about that for a while. And now we're going to move into the next phase, and that next phase will be Social Security. And then they're going to talk about the appropriations for 2024, talk about the budget for that. But this is a great opportunity for Social Security. And Republicans, they kind of, their strategy was always to kind of not really talk about Social Security. You had some Republicans talking about cutting Social Security, but they had to put that to an end because of the State of the Union address, when President Biden pretty much called them out, and they said, we would never cut Social Security. We would never do that. We want to strengthen Social Security. Okay, so now they're on record just this year talking about wanting to strengthen Social Security. And so now this is an opportunity for Democrats, if they really want to push this, like Representative Larson is, he can push these bills out and say, look, this is what we have to strengthen Social Security, increase benefits, and help those people who are living below the poverty level, and just help everyone receiving Social Security as a whole. And so this is a good strategy by Representative Larson, getting this out now, introducing this into the Social Security subcommittee, and from there, maybe it will catch some steam, even more steam. And I'll show you the actual press conference. I'll do that maybe tomorrow or the next day, and we'll talk a little bit about the support that this bill already has, because this bill has a lot of support when it comes to House Democrats. They just need to pull some Republicans on board in order for it to move forward, or at least they can start negotiating with Republicans when it comes to this plan. So we'll have to just see where it goes. But I just wanted to show you Representative Larson. He's basically fighting. If you're receiving Social Security right now and you want them to strengthen Social Security for years to come, you need to pay attention to what Representative Larson's saying and support Representative Larson, because he's doing a lot when it comes to Social Security. He's been doing this for years. He's been introducing these bills when it comes to Social Security for years, but I think this is a good opportunity to move forward. And the main reason, like I stated, Republicans are now on record saying they want to strengthen Social Security. They don't want to cut Social Security. And so now that they're on record, this is an opportunity for Democrats to come in with these different proposals and see if they go anywhere with those. So if you guys have any questions, let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.